Hello, Wake Up New Zealand, Cassie speaking. Transforming Our Lives, Agenda 2030, Global Development Goals. Transforming our lives without your consent, with unelected bodies. A bit more on this. Transforming Our Lives, the 2030 Agenda. Auckland's super city, shaping the city for the next 15 years. Who did that include? Helen Clark, John Key, Simeon Brown from National, and Wayne Brown, Mayor of Auckland. Transforming Our Lives 2030, the global, regional, national, local agenda. The UN joint partnership, an official partnership with the WEF and the UN, with the proviso for them to jointly push, accelerate, advance UN Agenda 2030 across the line before the year 2030. This is well documented, where the WEF CEOs, corporations, are the whisperers in the ears of the UN, public-private partnerships. This is the WEF Klaus Schwab Global Redesign Initiative of 2010, which was produced after the 2008 global recession. And all governments agreed to this, public-private partnerships for profit. That's corporations sitting in the front seat, government in the back as backseat passengers, and you, the people, merely the window dressing. So, the core message in many UN agreements, well, at least 3 anyway, the UNDRIP for Indigenous rights of people, leave no one behind. The UN Global Compact of Migration, leave no one behind. UN Agenda 2030, leave no one behind. They all fit like hand in glove. So, how will they achieve getting UN Agenda 2030 across the line? Well, if you bother to actually research ESCAP, UN, Asia Pacific region, you will find out that mass migration is critical to achieve UN Agenda 2030. So, also, a digital legal identity for the entire world by 2030, documented by Digital New Zealand and by the UN, undocumented migrants mandated by the UN to have a legal identity when they leave their country. So they talk about country of origin, in transit, and destination, the host country. So, the Mass Migration Management Act, introduced into the House Beehive by Erica Stanford last year, is an amendment to the Immigration Act of 1961, where it was introduced for the bill which she brought in, was the Mass Migration Management Bill, which was given, it was legislated upon as an act. If you bother to look at the speech in Parliament as to what she was saying about that and why she actually brought it into the House, she said it was because there is possibly going to be a mass migration entry into New Zealand, and we have to extend the time for the courts and immigration services. Well, she lied, because that was already happening. She knew it had happened. So, between 2022 and 2024, November, we had a record migrant entry. Now, I have actually looked at many figures around this. So it's anywhere between 435,500, 440,500. These are professional figures. So that's roughly one a minute, I would say. Schools are not coping. Classrooms and halls and libraries, mental health, primary health system, patient waiting lists have increased, shortage of housing. Auckland Council dealing with housing shortage, unlimited heights of pack and stack apartments, and incomes. Human Habitat 3, a global urban agenda. UN Development Programme, right up Helen Clark's cup of tea. She would be loving this. Oh, didn't Helen Clark, John Key go off to celebrate China's Xi Jinping? I believe so. And this is what we've got. We've got a socialist agenda. Boosting iwi health in new urban agenda. John Key's cup of tea with Helen Clark. John Key, Helen Clark, National Party, Simeon Brown and Wayne Brown, Mayor of Auckland, meet in Auckland to discuss the 15-year strategic plan on the 15th anniversary of Auckland being a smart super city, with Wayne Brown saying, "We don't have iwi Maori wards, but we do have an independent statutory board." Oh, but they have plenty of iwi actually advising the council, that participate with the council. Actually, 19 tribes, 19 tribes who call themselves iwi Indigenous. That word Indigenous peoples wasn't popularised till the 1970s, and it actually relates to the Indian people in Canada, Canadian Indians, and still in their legislation they do not call it Indigenous. So Indigenous people is an umbrella name, coined phrase for a global political agenda. Hui E, People's Report 2030 Agenda, and another government report, 2030 Agenda, a review that goes to the UN, was sent in 2019. Opportunities for iwi elite, the global agenda. Wake up, New Zealand.